Carl, how you doing? Welcome to the
Well,
show.
I love the music, man. I love the
Nah,
music.
yeah, man, I just did something random. When we do a lot of videos, I'm going to put our videos with the music. So it'll start like that, then it'll show all of us when we're talking. As
Mm.
I said, guys, the reason why I started this is because every Wednesday on the True City Fan channel, we were doing football and chill. But this one is football and chill. So I just decided, you know what, instead of wasting all the time putting it in there, putting the episodes, why doesn't it just go on a Football and Chillz channel where it's just every Wednesday at the same time? So me, Gundo, and the other guys can just speak football. But also, let's not forget, Champions League might not be here. Champions League is always at pitch points, and we also have got a video on tomorrow live at what time, Gundo?
It's at 11 p.m. UK,
Yeah.
6 p.m. US Eastern Time.
Grand, yeah. So we're actually recording this one, so we're not live. So that's why it's not live because it doesn't. The channel hasn't been activated. It's gonna be activated tomorrow. So we're gonna start off with the weekend football, which was exciting. I'm pretty sure you watched all the games. So how many games did you watch yourself? If we say,
We over here in the US we get all the games on
uh-huh.
on Peacock. It's a streaming service with NBC. I watched because of course the game today, Tottenham game today. I didn't watch the Forest
Uh-huh.
game. I watched the
Why
City
not?
game. I was out actually. I practiced. I couldn't watch the Tottenham in the Forest game. I was out playing football, and then I
Ah,
watched. Yeah, yeah. Can you imagine at my age? I'm running around the whole field with 14-year-olds, full field. Man, those kids can run, man. Um,
did you
oh,
think you're going to outrun kids? Did you seriously
ah,
think you're going
goodness me. And then I watched the United. I watched the United game, man. In fact, I was watching it. I think with you. We were online watching it together, and you showed that clip, the clip where we said it was 2-0, or was it 3-0?
Man, that's where we're gonna start. That's where you're gonna start, as you can see from the picture we have here. That's where you're gonna start. So, Carl, you tell me, man. As I say, this is football and chill, so we're not going to be as intense as we are on
Yeah,
our other
yeah.
channels. We're just gonna be relaxed. We're just having a conversation. You tell me what's going on because you and me, we always said we wanted Ten Hag like at City. Obviously, I told you I was disappointed to see he took this job too early. I thought he was going to wait for Pep. Maybe he'll be the next guy. But now Ten Hag has gone to United.
Yeah.
What's your thought? What's going on? Why? They said Oli
I'm
was
not.
the issue. They said Mourinho was the issue. Ragnick was too bad. Why is the team not playing as good as they are? They're losing 4-0 to Brentford.
Patrick, I mean, when you look at what happened yesterday in the game, it can't be the manager. I'm sorry, it has to be the players, Patrick, because look at that third goal, third goal, the fourth goal, the one that was a counter attack from deep inside Brentford's defensive third. The ball was in Brentford's basically in the penalty box. There were nine United players around Brentford's 18-yard box. Brentford threw one pass, beat both Maguire and Martinez, and they counter-attacked and scored a goal. Literally. I mean, I don't understand it. It can't be coaching. It has to be the players.
So what are they gonna do though? Because now,
I don't know, man.
okay, so now Eric Ten Hag, which is one of the best managers right now. I don't know if people rate him. Or if you don't rate him, it's your own fault. If you look at the managers right now, modern managers, he's very good. What he did with that Ajax team that time when they got the semi-finals was amazing. They should have gone to the final. I think it would have given Liverpool a bit of a fight. He turned players like Frankie De Jong into world-class players. Even though people don't rate him, I rate him as a world-class player. It's just that things are not working out for him. He turned players like Delete Van de Beek to players that I admired. Ziyech, who is struggling at Chelsea. You see, so there's all these people. So he's turned people who are willing to learn to play football. So it's deeper than just football at
Yeah,
Man
I mean,
United, isn't it?
let's look at the goal that the build-up goal, the one that Brentford scores. First of all, Brentford was smart, Patrick. Let's give kudos to them, right? They basically man-marked every single United player. And when you see a team man-marking every player, it's as a coach, it tells you one thing. They believe that they're better than each player on that field.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it means. We're going to do one-to-one man marking. They believe that in a one-on-one battle between me and my opponent, I'm going to get you. That's what it means. So when teams sit back, like how West Ham sit back against City, how we sit back against Liverpool, right? They're saying, okay, we're not as good as you, but we're going to have numbers to defend the box so you won't get in. That's the respect that they pay you. When a team goes 1v1 with you to mark, they're saying, we believe we are better than you all over the field, or we're going to work harder than you. And every single time they played that, Brentford won the ball back. That build-up play, that build-up goal that they scored, right? De Gea gets the ball. He gives the ball to Ericsson, right? Tony robs the ball from him. They press high and they win and they score a goal. When Leeds United tried to play 1v1 with City last season, what was the score? 7-0.
7-0,
Because they didn't respect City, right? To play a block, a mid to low block and counter attack. When they did that, Patrick, against City 2 years ago, in that game, they won. Leeds won the game, 2-1? Remember that game?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. But when they tried it last season, man to man with City, 7-0, blow them away because the quality of the players was better than what Leeds had. In this case with United, I mean, Brentford 1-to-1 marking every part of the field. Everything, because press and won the ball back.
What did you think of that first goal? De Gea, what's happening to De Gea? You think they should
Oh,
get rid
my
of him?
goodness me, Patrick. I felt sorry for the guy. You know, if you feel sorry for a player as a human being, I felt sorry for him as a human being because, you know, it's just a mistake. He misjudged the ball. I don't know, man, Patrick. I don't know how that happens. There's something wrong there's something with confidence, Patrick.
I think
You
there
know?
is. Like, look at this. If you look at the record of Man United, right? This is the recent meetings with Brentford. They beat Brentford in 2022, which was last season. So they beat Brentford away 3-1. Brentford was very difficult for us and Liverpool. Remember, Brentford drew with Liverpool 3-3, and they gave us a bit of trouble. I don't know if we drew one of the games, and then we beat them the other game. They were very difficult against us, but Man United managed. This is the same Man United with Ragnick. You know what I mean? It's quite
Yeah.
funny. So
Yeah.
Ragnick managed to beat them 3-0, kept a clean sheet at home, but now they go to Brentford away and 4-0. And if you look at this, like if you look at the stats, they had possession, right? So obviously we can understand that trying to play possession football
Yeah.
because of what's his name? Ten Hag is a possession manager. I
Yeah.
didn't see good football at all. They had more touches than Brentford. They had more shots than Brentford.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is why you don't have to watch. This is why you don't have to base football on stats. Do you see what's looking at? If I looked at these
Yeah.
stats, I'd think United have won the game.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't get it. And what's your thought while we're here? What's your thought on still keeping Maguire as a captain?
I think they need to change it, Patrick. I think they need to change it. I mean, Maguire is not good enough to lead that team. It's clear. I don't think he's good enough to lead that team.
I don't get what's happening with that team.
They need a fresh start. The whole club. They just need a fresh start. I don't know if he's good enough to lead that team. He shouldn't be the captain.
How do you think
I mean,
things are gonna go? Before we move on to
what,
Spurs, how do you
on
think things
what
are going?
basis did they give him the captain in the first place? Right?
Maybe because he's English.
He shouldn't be the captain, man.
So how do you think things are gonna go though going forward? Do you think Ten Hag is gonna last at United with these sort of results and with these sort of players?
I'll tell you. So I mean, if they play next Monday, Liverpool, they lose that game badly. What's the next 5 games? Pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah,
United
bear
next
with
5.
me. Let's not United's next games bear with me for a minute. So
Yeah.
United.
Anybody else
Just
joining us
gonna
today?
look at the fixtures. No. This is just the first. Remember, I'm gonna. This is the first one we're doing. Then
Okay.
people will be joining us for the live ones because the channel hasn't activated yet. It takes 48 hours before it
Yeah.
activates. So this is just the first one between you and me. But the rest ones will be just every Wednesday. We just do it every Wednesday as normal. Because I want people to be to unleash themselves on football to be able to say something without regret. So there it is. That's United right now. The
Yeah.
next match
So
is going to be against Liverpool.
yeah. So if they lose that game, and you know who knows what will happen in that game, if they lose that game, then they have to go to Southampton, and all of a sudden there is massive pressure,
Then Leicester
massive
City.
pressure, massive pressure,
Then
and then
Arsenal.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
whoo,
Then
and
Crystal
then
Palace
Palace
away.
away.
Then Leeds
Then
United.
they have a
Then Man
lead.
City.
Oh my
Then
gosh!
then to Everton. and then to Newcastle, and then to
I mean,
Spurs,
they
and then to
could get
Chelsea.
to, yeah, they could. I mean, they could get to, you know, that's pressure, man.
They also have West Ham, then they have Aston Villa away, they've got Fulham away, they've got
But if
Nottingham
you look at the
Forest.
first five, look at the next five. The next five are Liverpool, Leicester. That's a difficult game. Even Southampton away. That's not easy.
It gets serious right here, where it says United,
Arsenal.
Arsenal, Crystal Palace, then Leeds, then it goes to City. Then after City, it
Whew.
goes to Everton, then Newcastle, then Spurs, then Chelsea. It's not great.
Yeah, they don't pick up points against
Where do you
Liverpool.
see a win? Where do you see a win or a draw if you
I mean,
beat
they
Villa?
could win Southampton because Southampton are schizophrenic, right? They
Yeah,
one day they're on, one day they're off.
yeah. But looking at that Southampton team, they can also manage to score against that Man
They
United
can
team.
they can do well. It depends on
Leicester
what game.
also, as bad as they are, I'm pretty sure they can put up a fight. Because United right now, we are comparing them to mid-table below teams. I don't know if I'm being, with all due respect, right now where United are, it's
Yeah,
mid-table and below.
if they don't
Let's
get anything against Liverpool, then they go into the next game against Southampton, bottom of the table.
there they are. By the way, there they are.
You know,
That
if they get 1 point from Southampton, then they have to play Leicester away.
mm,
If they don't win that game, then they have to play City.
mhm.
And if they lose that game, they're going to be bottom of the table after playing like 5 or 6 games.
What's going on with West Ham also? Before we move on to Spurs, what's going on
They
with
were
West Ham?
unlucky today. They were unlucky today.
Mm.
They weren't lucky. They missed a penalty. They hit the bar. One goal was called off for a foul.
Mm.
They were just unlucky. It happens. I mean, Forest had the first home game of the season. They had all the energy. They had all the passion. You know, they were just unlucky today.
Okay,
From the
cool.
highlights.
Guys, so that's all on United. Let's talk about Tuchel versus Conte, the battle, or as I call it, the battle of the two trash ball dons. How was it?
You know, the best part about this game was actually the interaction between Tuchel and Conte. That was the best part of the game. Apart from that, nothing really happened in the game. But I did notice one thing though, and I said this to Abdullahi. I said that Conte cannot play a back three against Chelsea because they'll get slapped, and that first half was just terrible from Spurs, right? Passive, no bravery. They didn't win the balls or losing the balls. Son wasn't playing well. Kulusevski was horrible. Kane couldn't get the ball. Chelsea dominated the ball because they were playing a back three. The moment they switched to a back four, right, they moved 20 yards off the field and were pressing and they were winning the ball. That's how they got the goals. And the same thing happened with them last year, Patrick. After they lost the first 2 games against Chelsea, in the third game, I believe it was a League Cup, when they switched to a back four, they began to get possession and almost won the game.
Yeah.
I think going forward, Conte has to change the back four against Chelsea because Chelsea are good at playing the back three. They're grouped in that system. They've been for years. They've won the title playing the back three, right? He has to play a back four. Yeah, I mean the hair pulling stuff, that should be a red card. I don't know what the referee's doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of dodgy things, isn't it? Like this one. Look at that one. Like what? Why no red card? There's a lot of
What happened here? What was Cucurella doing?
This is where it started. Cucurella did this to him. Then I think that's when he pulled his hair later on because all this beef. Yeah, all this beef started. All this beef started at the end. So
yeah, I know Cucurella has some. He trolls players a lot. He does this funky stuff. That's why that story about him in Spain, about him abusing what player was it again? One black player.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. So what do you think? What do you think of this new owner of Chelsea? Do you think he's taking them the right way?
I mean, he's being brave. Let's be fair. He's being brave. He's trying to spend money, which I admire what he's trying to do in terms of spending money. I think he's getting fleeced, but at the same time, too, he's trying to rebuild the squad, right? When we got taken over by Sheikh Mansour, he spent a lot of money. Which is why I talk about a new owner comes in, they have to spend the money to build the team up. Then after a while, when it becomes self-sustaining, you begin to now cherry pick who you want and begin to manage your money. But the initial investment has to be made. So it's no surprise that he's spending 65 million pounds on Cucurella. He bought Koulibaly, he bought
Mm.
Sterling for 45 million with 1 year left on
Yeah.
the contract. It's no surprise. And
What
I
did
just
you
heard
think?
today
What did you think of Raheem's game today?
a typical Raheem, right? 1v1 with a keeper, misses the chance. He's good in the pockets and running around and linking play.
Yeah, I give him
But
that.
if,
He's very
but if
good. He's very
Raheem's going
good.
to be a number 9, it's going to be a long day.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so is it like for me the fighting obviously was one of the most interesting things in this game, but it was not disappointing because what I was expecting is a boring game, like the other Chelsea game. Remember the other Chelsea game versus Everton, which was very boring, and I think I slept in that game. This game kept me on the toes. I actually thought, to be honest with you, I'm just going to talk very unbiased because we're going to be very unbiased here, obviously. So I'm not coming from a City's perspective. I'm coming from a football fan. I was impressed by Chelsea, the way they played football. I think they played Spurs off the park. You were right. At the beginning, Chelsea,
Yeah,
Spurs didn't have any answer at
yeah.
all. They were playing very well. The only issue that I've seen at Chelsea is they don't have a lot of creators. They don't create a lot of chances, nor do they have finishes because that missed chance by Kai Havertz was ridiculous. That's supposed to go to the back of the net.
Patrick, if you look at the heat map for Chelsea against Tottenham and many Chelsea games, right? They have a lot of possession in the wide areas, in the defensive and the middle third, right? If you go to if you do the game heat map, you see that they have a lot of possession, good possession in the wide areas, right? So like James and then Cucurella or James and Chilwell, and also in their middle third as well, right?
Yeah.
And then they swing the ball in. You won't see a lot of possession in the final third of or the attacking third of the opposing team.
Mm.
You won't see a lot of possession there because I think Pep talked about this when he talked about tick tack tack Lukaku. Remember that discussion, that
Yeah,
thing he said?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
remember. Yeah,
Well, the tack Lukaku, right?
yeah,
Tack. That's because they do the tack with the fullbacks, and then Jorginho and the Kovacic of Jorginho and somebody else tack
yeah,
Lukaku. So
yeah,
that's how they play. So if you're able to shut down their wing back system by playing a front three with a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, you push the fullbacks back, you gain more control, which is what Conte did in the second half, the last half of the second half, because he had no control. But if you play a back three against them, they're good at that. They will dominate you. You won't get the ball from them because
So,
they have what they call numerical superiority in those areas
uh,
versus you.
yeah, so it looks like, as we say, Chelsea had more possession. They had 3 shots on target. Tottenham had 5. They had 16 shots in total at Chelsea. They had more touches than Spurs at Chelsea. And basically, Chelsea was playing very well. If you look at the stats, uh, obviously, in the past, Chelsea has always somehow beaten Spurs. They always beat Spurs. So it shows that Spurs against Chelsea, Chelsea always have the upper hand no matter what manager. But what do you think yourself overall, right? Obviously, we talked about United and where they're going. Where do you see these two teams going? I'll start. I want you to give me your opinion on Spurs because everybody was twerking for Spurs, putting them as number 3. Do you
Yeah,
still see them third? Do you see them third to finish third this season? Because everybody
I
was
think so.
downplaying Chelsea. They say
You know
Chelsea
what?
are not so good. So do you still see Spurs as the team that's gonna fight for third?
Yes, I think so. I still think so because, first of all, this was the first point they had in a long time at Stamford Bridge. Number two, they will give the big teams a problem.
Hmm,
Smaller teams, I think, will because they have to attack. Those teams sit
hmm,
back. They will lack that creativity. I still think they're a problem
hmm,
for the big teams, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, because it's a one-off game. You don't play them every single week, and
hmm,
they'll give them problems.
hmm.
Now, if you go with what happened in that second half, that second half of the second half, where
Mm,
Tottenham were actually more progressive and they went for it, they were
yeah,
much better.
yeah,
When they brought in Richarlison, they were so much better because now they were
yeah.
playing
He,
with
was- he, he was-
four.
he wasn't actually bad for a guy who I thought
Yeah,
is just a waste of money.
I think they changed from a 3-4-2-1 to a
Yeah,
4-2-4.
yeah,
Right? They changed from a 3-4-2 into a 4-2-4. Now they had 4 people. They had Richarlison, Kulishevsky, they had Son or Mora, and they had Kane. So a
yeah.
4 and a 2 and a 4.
Kane wasn't making much impact, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Until
He
that
wasn't.
goal, he was useless until that goal.
You know the funny thing about Kane, I'm
Yeah,
noticing that his speed is gone, man.
age maybe age. You never know.
Yeah, he's not very quick, is he?
He's not play. He's not a threat. It does. It looks like he looks a threat when he drops in, but as a striker, he's not a threat anymore. Where I used to say Ken is in the box. Ken is like he's not a goal scoring guy anymore. I don't know if I'm wrong to say that. It
I mean,
looks
he's
like
still a goal
he's
scorer. He's still a
yeah,
goal
but he
scorer.
looks like he's more focused on creating these days.
He's still a goal scorer. You just have to keep him away from the box. When he's in that box and he can get the ball, he's dangerous. Like that header he scored, right?
Yeah,
But you have to keep him away from the box, you know.
yeah.
So if we play them, the key we have to mark. We have to figure out a way to mark Son and then Kulichevsky,
Hmm.
and then once you can do that and keep Kane quiet, then I think we're good.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Chelsea? Because that's your thought on Spurs. Chelsea, how do you see them doing though? Like, do you see us progress today? Did you see any signs that these new signings are gelling? What a wonderful goal by
I mean, I
Koulibaly,
think
by the way.
Koulibaly is.
Koulibaly.
I think Koulibaly is wonderful. I've always rated Koulibaly. You know
Yeah,
me. I've always liked him from day one. I think he's a great signing.
yeah.
My worry is that both of their goals came from defenders, just like last year.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing about Chelsea, isn't it? This James was the top goal scorer last season, wasn't he? Then Mount.
I think it was either him or Mount, but both goals came from two defenders. Now,
Mm.
if Sterling is going to carry you to win the league as a number 9, you will fall short. So unless they sign a striker like Aubameyang,
or Broja was on the bench, I think he should have started. I
yeah,
think they were
probably, play Broja up front and play him either side of Havertz, of Sterling, and maybe Havertz or Mount. But for me, I just struggle to see how. I mean, they've scored 3 goals, conceded 2 already in 2 games, and the goal they scored at Everton was a penalty.
Yeah.
One of the goals they scored today was from a set piece, so 2 goals from that were a set piece.
Yeah.
The other one was just, again, I think it was the James goal was a defender. So 1 real goal from open play, the other 2 from set pieces.
Yeah.
Which is a worry because you're playing against a City and a Liverpool who create chances like no man's business.
Yeah, cool. And anyway, we're gonna just leave it there. So, guys, that was the first show for Football&Chillz. I was here with my main man, Gundo or Carl, if you can call him. I'm Patrick myself, and as we said, there's a show tomorrow on Pitch Points, and it's going to be based on Bernardo. So it's going to be focusing on Bernardo and the midfielders that can replace him at Man City. But for now, that's all we have for this. And then the next show is going to be Wednesday. Obviously, I'm going to release this earlier on just because it's the first video, but the rest of the videos will always be at Wednesday at the same time. So, Carl, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Yeah, so we may be having a Newcastle preview on Thursday. We've been invited to join a very, very big Newcastle fan. He has a lot of followers. He's a good guy. And so look out for more information about that. Patrick and I may be joining one of the Newcastle fans for a preview for our game on, I believe it's Saturday or Sunday next week. So lots of content. Tomorrow, again, we're going to look at Bernardo.
Yeah.
We'll talk about options. We'll look at numbers, data, facts, all that stuff on Bernardo. And then Wednesday, show with Patrick. And then Thursday, preview. So a lot of things coming up. And then the week after, we're going to do Champions League group stage preview.